Okay, so you are not going to believe this. Marvel just took a handful of people into a secret room at Cinemacon, showed them the future of the MCU, and what's leaking out is completely changing the game. We're going to break down exactly what they revealed behind those closed doors.
All right, this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? We've all been wondering what the next big Thanos-level event would be. Well, it looks like in Las Vegas, behind very, very closed doors, Marvel finally decided to show their cards.
So let's paint a picture here. This wasn't just some regular panel. No, this was the grand finale of the entire Cinemacon event. It was the presentation everyone was waiting for, and you could just feel the hype in the air.
Get this, Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans walk out on stage with the Russo brothers. The whole room just goes nuts. But at the same time, it's super tense. People there said there were security guards in every single row, basically daring anyone to even think about pulling out their phone. And the trailer they showed? The reaction was so insane, so explosive, that they actually played it again.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting, because this wasn't just about getting fans excited. This was a stone-cold business move, a massive power play against a huge competitor, and really a signal to everyone that yes, Marvel still has a master plan.
And here's the duel. You've got Avengers Doomsday and Dune Part 3, both scheduled to drop on the exact same day, December 18th, 2026. I mean, that is a heavyweight title fight for the biggest and best screens on the planet.
But, see, here's the twist. Marvel had a huge problem. Turns out Dune has an exclusive deal with IMAX for that entire release window, which means Avengers Doomsday, a movie literally made to be seen on the biggest screen possible, was facing the very real possibility of having 0 IMAX screens for its opening weekend. That's a potential catastrophe.
So, what do? Well, if you're Marvel and you can't get IMAX, you just make your own. They announced something called Infinity Vision. It's basically their own stamp of approval for premium theaters. They're setting a new standard. If a theater has Infinity Vision, you know you're getting the absolute best screen, laser projection, and mind-blowing sound. It is an incredibly bold move.
Of course, a power play like that only works if you've got the goods to back it up. And oh man, do they. The single biggest reveal, the thing that is just tearing up the internet right now, was our first look at the MCU's next big bad, Dr. Doom.
Okay, let's just get this out of the way right now. All those theories about an evil Tony Stark variant or some version of Iron Man becoming Doom, they're all wrong. Dead wrong. Every single report coming out of that room was crystal clear. Robert Downey Jr. has created a totally new character. There's not a trace of Tony Stark to be found. And the details we got are just perfect. People described him having this new, really unique Latvian accent. Not quite American, not quite British, something totally its own. His look? Straight off the comic book page. The green hooded cape, the full metal armor, and they said you can even see his scarred face underneath the mask. It's happening.
And if you had any doubts left, the Russo brothers themselves spelled it out. They said Doom is actually more complex and dangerous than Thanos. He's virtually unbeatable, and, get this, he will always be 3 steps ahead of the heroes. So we're not just talking about a physical threat anymore. This is an intellectual nightmare.
So how do you show that kind of power on screen? Well, Marvel has this signature move. Remember in Ragnarok, when Hela just catches Mjolnir and crushes it with one hand, it instantly tells you she's on another level. Well, they're running that same play again, but they're taking it to an absolutely shocking new extreme.
Okay, so if you've got a villain that powerful, who in the entire multiverse could possibly even stand a chance against him? Well, let's talk about the team they're assembling.
The lineup is just, it's bonkers. We're going to see the new Avengers at a brand new Avengers Tower. We're seeing the Fantastic Four officially meeting the rest of the heroes. The X-Men are here. Professor X, Cyclops, even Gambit got confirmed. Shang-Chi is finally back in a huge way, and it looks like Thor is the one trying to pull this scattered, chaotic group together. This is going to be a crossover like nothing we have ever seen.
All right, let's get to the main event. I'm going to walk you through the trailer that made that room absolutely lose its mind.
So it starts in darkness, and you hear that brand new, chilling voice of Dr. Doom. And he says, "Something is coming. You will face an unthinkable decision." I mean, the tone is just instantly apocalyptic.
And then, boom, we cut to this huge battle. The world is just wrecked. Thor is at full power, lightning crackling everywhere, and he hurls Stormbreaker right at Dr. Doom with everything he has got.
And Doom, He doesn't even move. He just raises a hand and stops the axe dead in its tracks with 2 fingers. Just 2. Let that sink in. The weapon that overpowered the Infinity Gauntlet stopped with 2 fingers. In one single moment, you understand just how outmatched they are.
And from there, it's just a blur of incredible shots. You see Professor X watching in horror as 2 realities collide. There's a shot of Namor parting the entire ocean, like Moses on steroids. We get a glimpse of this super stylized, almost dance-like fight between Shang-Chi and Gambit. And there's this awesome sequence where Mystique transforms into Yelena Belova right in the middle of a fight.
So then we cut back to Thor. He's beaten, the fight looks totally lost, and he says something like, "We're gonna need a miracle." And then you hear a voice, a really familiar voice, say, "Hey, pal." And the camera turns, and it's Steve Rogers. Not old Steve. It's Infinity War Steve. Beard, long hair, everything. Thor is just staring in shock as Steve raises his hand, and Mjolnir comes flying right into it. End of trailer. Just a complete bombshell.
So, after a reveal like that, where do we go from here? What does all of this mean? Because Marvel didn't just drop a trailer. They laid out their entire battle plan for the rest of the year. So here's the roadmap they gave us. It kicks off in September. They're re-releasing Avengers Endgame in theaters. At the same time, they're going to officially launch that new Infinity Vision format in theaters. And it's all building to one thing: December, the global premiere of Avengers Doomsday. And you really got to pay attention to that Endgame re-release. This isn't just them trying to make a few extra bucks. No, they are reportedly adding brand new footage, maybe even a new post-credit scene that will directly connect to and set up the events of Doomsday. They're making it essential viewing.